Welcome to part 2 of the cactus tutorial. We're going to start off by making the larger limb of the cactus. We're going to start by making a magic ring. Grab your yarn and wrap it around the top 3 fingers of your hand like this. We're going to make an X on one side and 2 parallel lines on the other side. Take your hook, go under the first loop, over top the second, bringing the second under, and then twist your hook 180 degrees. If you didn't quite catch that, I'll show it for you again in slow motion. In the magic ring, we are going to pop in 6 single crochets. Make sure you are crocheting over top both the tail piece and the ring. So as you can see, I'm crocheting over top 2 pieces of yarn. So that's 3 single crochets, 4, 5, and 6. And now we can close our ring shut. If you still have trouble with the magic ring, I do have another tutorial for it linked down below as well. And now for round 2, we are just going to do 1 single crochet, and then we are going to pause and mark our stitch. So make your first single crochet of the round here. Grab your stitch marker and mark that stitch. In the next stitch, we are going to make an increase. In the next stitch, we are making a single crochet. Then make an increase. Then single crochet, and finish off with an increase. This is going to give us 9 stitches in our round. Now that we have 9 stitches, for the next 3 rounds, we are just going to be making 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So begin by removing your stitch marker, place your first single crochet of the round, and then we are going to mark that stitch. Then carry on 1 single crochet in each stitch around. For the next round, it's going to be the same thing, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. For the last round, we're doing the exact same thing, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. We're coming up on the last stitch here, and then I'm going to make a slip knot and fasten off, leave a long tail for sewing, and then we are going to make the second limb of the cactus. This is the smaller limb. We're going to start off by making a magic ring and then place 6 single crochets into the magic ring. If you need more help with the magic ring, there is another tutorial link down below, or you can simply rewatch the beginning of the video. So pop in 6 single crochets into this magic ring. Then we are going to close our magic ring. For round 2, we are placing 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So make your first single crochet and then mark that stitch. Continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 6 stitches. For round 3, we're doing the exact same thing, just 1 stitch around for a total of 6 stitches, and then we are going to fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. I'm going to make a slip stitch, and then I'm going to fasten off and leave a tail about 10 or 20 inches for sewing. Now that we have both the limbs, we can continue on by making the soil and pot of our cactus. For the soil piece, take your dark brown yarn and start off by making a magic ring. For this magic ring, we are going to pop in 10 single crochets. Now pull your ring shut. This can be a little tricky because there's so many single crochets in there. Just be sure to go slow and don't let the single crochets kind of clump onto each other. For round 2, we are making an increase in every single stitch around, which is going to leave us with 20 stitches at the end of this round. So begin by making your first increase, and then we are going to mark the first stitch that I'm sorry, it's about to get a little bit shaky. My dog came and hit my camera. Once you've marked your first stitch, you can carry on increasing in every stitch around. Now you should have 20 stitches in your ring. Be sure to pull that centerpiece really tight because it's going to try to come undone because there's so many stitches in there. And for round 3, we are increasing in every other stitch around. So start off by making your first single crochet and then mark that stitch. In the next available stitch, we can make our increase. In the next stitch, make a single crochet, then increase, and single crochet. Keep repeating that pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. We're going to have 30 stitches at the end of this round. Now you should have 30 stitches. For round 4, we are increasing in every third stitch. So remove your stitch marker, make your first single crochet of the round, and then mark that stitch. In the next stitch, make a single crochet, and then increase in the third stitch. This is going to give us 40 stitches. So just keep repeating that pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. For round 5, we are making one single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 40 stitches by the end of it. This is the last round of the soil, so you can fasten off by making a slip stitch, and you don't need to leave a long tail for sewing, just leave a tail a couple inches long so that you can weave in the end. The pot is going to start off the exact same as the soil, so we are going to start off by making a magic ring and popping 10 single crochets in the magic ring. For round 2 of the pot, we are going to increase in every stitch around for a total of 20 stitches. Then we can pause and mark our first stitch that we made. Then carry on increasing all the way around. For round 3, we are increasing in every other stitch around, so remove your stitch marker, make your first single crochet, and then mark that stitch. Then increase in the next stitch, and single crochet, then increase. After this round, we're going to have 30 stitches. For round 4, we are increasing in every third stitch around for a total of 40 stitches. Make your first single crochet of the round, mark that stitch. Then make another single crochet, and then increase in that third stitch. Keep repeating that pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. This is going to be our last round of increasing for the pot. For round 5, we are going to be making 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 40 stitches. For round 6, we are doing 40 single crochets, but in the back loop only. So going in the back loop, making a single crochet. As you can see, the front loop is untouched. And then mark that stitch. What this is going to do is create a ridge around the bottom to force the pot to turn upwards. So just continue single crocheting in the back loop only of every stitch around. So as you can see here, there is a little ridge around the bottom of the pot now, and the rest of the pot that we do is going to be the side of the pot. So for the next 4 rounds, we are doing 1 single crochet in both loops. So round 7 is going to start off by 1 single crochet through both loops, just like normal. And I'm going to speed up the next 4 rounds here because it's the exact same thing, just 1 single crochet all the way around. And I'll meet you back once you're at round 10. Just be sure to mark the first stitch of every single round. Time to add the eyes for the cactus. So I like to put my eyes on the pot. I'm going to pop in my eyes between rounds 8 and 9 of the pot, or 1 round down from the last round that we worked. I like to put mine about 4 stitches apart, and just make sure that you're putting the eyes on the opposite side of where the stitch marker is. Once you're happy with the placement, you can pop the backs on. Alternatively, you could put the eyes on the cactus part, the green part, if you want, but I prefer mine to be on the pot. Now we are going to take our soil piece and we are going to attach the soil piece onto the pot by single crocheting through both the soil piece and the pot. So take your soil piece, and I'm going to start at the stitch that's right before the fastening off, and I'm going to pop in my hook and line up this stitch with the most recent stitch on the pot as well. So we're crocheting through both those 2 stitches together using the white yarn. So insert your hook and pop your hook through both pieces like this. make a single crochet, and continue doing this all the way around, making sure that you're going through both the pot and the soil through every single stitch. This can take some practice, so just go slowly. Once we're about 3/4 of the way through, we are going to start stuffing our pot. So I'm just going to do a couple more stitches and then I will pop in some stuffing. You can grab your stuffing from your Yarny Box kit. I like to pull mine apart a little bit. As you're stuffing, make sure that you're really putting the stuffing into all the corners of the bottom of the pot, just so that you're shaping it out, and be sure not to overstuff your pot or else the bottom is going to round out too much and it's not going to sit flat on your table. Now that it looks something like this, you can continue crocheting the rest of it shut. I'm just going to grab a bit more stuffing and stuff the remainder of the pot. Coming up on the last stitch, the soil and pot are now joined together, and we just have one more round of the pot before we can assemble our cactus. We are going to single crochet around the white part now. That's going to make the lip of the pot. So place your first single crochet of the white and then mark that stitch. And then just continue crocheting one single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 40 stitches. Now we're coming up on the last few stitches, and then we can fasten off and weave in your end. In part 3, I'm going to show you how to make the flowers and sew everything together.